Okay, so today I'm off to CEX in hopes that there's a couple of miscellaneous PlayStation 2 games that are still there that I spotted on my last trip that I was like, I could get those at some point. I've decided, let's get them. Okay, I also had another idea. So you know how I have been like removing my desk from the office and like creating just more space. But the problem is that there's always going to be cables visible because of the fact that that PC has to send cables to this monitor, and that's a power cable and a HDMI cable, no matter what you do. I've decided an idea would be because of the fact that, hang on, let me flip you around, flip around, there we go. Ignore the ketchup on the floor, it's got a use, I promise. I could put my PC under there perhaps, and then the HDMI cable I could like strap it to this and it wouldn't be visible. Or at worst, right, the real main thing is that when you walk into the room, you just wouldn't have that mess of cables at the back that is visible because it'd be behind and underneath the sofa. And that's really the point that matters, is because you don't really go over there anyway, so, you know. That's what I want to avoid, is I want things to look clean from like this angle, ideally. With as few cables as possible. The problem is there's always going to be some cables because you've got like phone, microphone power for the monitor, HDMI for the monitor, a USB cable so that I can connect the camera I'm literally filming on right now. That Xbox One and PS4 I need to move, I know. But there's always going to be some cables, and I just want to do my best to manage. But that's what I'm thinking, is I could get some sort of stand for the PC that I know I need to dust, and it can go live under there, and then that would hide pretty much all of the cables. I'm still in the process of building a new PC. There's been interesting developments there. It's been like 8 months since the last one, but yeah, I've also got my new office that's in development over here. So I can sit in here sometimes, perhaps. And if I was to PC game for any reason, it'd be in here because, yeah, cool stuff, really. Oh, hello. Why does it... The joystick that controls the pivoting on my camera appears to be a little bit, like, dodgy today. It's as if it's become inverted. Kids today won't remember the fact that inverted controls were at one point basically expected. Like, it was very strange if controls were not inverted on a lot of games when I was younger. You just sort of expected it. And now, if that was the case, there'd be an uproar. Anyway, I'm going to go have some food, have a drink, and then head off into town. Something else I need to do one of these days is get my car cleaned, because it's not great. Copyright. It has been, I think, 5 months since I last had the interior and exterior of my car done. Someone up there pays all the time to have their car valeted, like actually valeted, and I'm tempted to do that to see what the difference between like an actual valet is versus just taking it to the blokes and chucking them 20 quid or whatever it is for them to like do an inside and out wash. I don't know. Been a while since I fueled up too. Been a while since I've left Stafford, I think. I don't think I've left Stafford now in nearly 8 weeks. What a depressing thought that is. Although I'd only really be going to like Cannock. And what a depressing thought that is. Anyway, let's go to town. So I'm about an hour or two later than I have been recently. It's about 3 o'clock, and there are way less cars. I mean, it's still relatively busy on the other side of the car park, but like this bit where I parked to be out of the way quieter. Interesting. It's also really warm. Actually, it's not actually that warm. It's just kind of muggy. It's only supposed to be 18, but I'm a bit moist, and not in a fun way. For once, I'm actually paying attention to the PlayStation 5 section. I don't do this very frequently. It often feels like there is just a lot of tat. Although this Company of Heroes 3, I'm not convinced comes as a non-Steelbook edition. I have only ever seen Steelbook editions. There's also a Dragon's Dogma 2 Steelbook, which I could get. I could swap my Dragon's Dogma for that one. I don't know if I can really be bothered, because it's not exactly a game I'm that bothered to play. My Dragon's Dogma is still sealed, and a Dirt 4 Steelbook 2. That's been there ages. But yeah, I bought Dragon's Dogma 2, I think on the same day as Rise of the Ronin, Way of the Ronin, whatever that game was called, because that was by, I think, Ninja Theory, who make Neo, and Neo is like one of my favourite franchises of all time. So I just played that instead, and then I never did get around to Dragon's Dogma. So my Dragon's Dogma 2 on PlayStation 5 is still sealed, and could probably swap it straight up for that Steelbook version. I know they would. They've told me they would. It's no different to them. Same bloody game that they're putting on the shelf, the same price. It's not like it's priced any different. So tempted for that. It's a lot of interesting stuff like Time Splitters. I don't think I saw that prior. In fact, that ends up becoming a little bit of a coincidence that I picked that up come the end of this video, so stay tuned for that one. I'm also keeping a good eye on the PC, Vita, and PSP sections because there's a handful of games there that I am after. Not because I could ever actually play them, because I don't own a Vita, a PSP, or a PC that's capable of putting a disc in, but because I want to own them for the sake of collecting. And I also did actually take a look at the original Xbox section, because it's getting smaller by the day. There's like 3 shelves now. That's about it, whereas it used to be a whole thing. They've got the original Ninja Gaiden and Serious Sam. They've also got Serious Sam HD there on 360 on the left, and I did also spot in the PC section another Serious Sam 2, perhaps. I don't know how many Serious Sams there are, but I remember them. I remember when one of them released. I think it's probably that one on the 360. Watching a Nerd Cubed video about it. I swear, literally probably 15 years ago. It's strange how many memories I've got that are getting really old, and yet they somehow still involve YouTube. Like, I remember the first Let's Play that I ever watched was either Exelga playing through Resident Evil 4 on the Wii in like 2006, or Necroscope86 playing through the Resident Evil games. And again, this could be pushing 20 years ago at this point, so it's really been a while. But also, look at these, right? The Harry Potter games, the prices on all of them are going up. I noticed the one that was facing me, I think that was Deathly Hallows Part 2, perhaps, at 15 quid. And then I checked out the others and I was like, right, hang on. What about the PS2 ones? Because Chamber of Secrets is actually a pretty good game, and it's also pretty common. But I don't think they actually had it. They had Goblet of Fire, that was £2.50. And then there's the Quidditch World Cup next to it at £2.50. Philosopher's Stone is already an expensive one at like £70. I'll have to have a look and see if that's gone up. I got what I needed to get. Shout out to the 3 lads in the middle of town that came over to say hello, and the tall bloke in CEX that came over to say hello. Tell you what is weird about town at the minute is there's constantly people trying to sell stuff. I don't know what they're trying to sell, some sort of charity, some sort of insurance, I'm not sure. I never really listen. And I try and run away as fast as I can. But you know how they always use like opening lines to try and get your attention? This one bloke now for about 4 days straight has used the same one. How much do you bench? It's like, I know what you're trying to do here. He said it the last like 4. I'm also really hoping that I've got a pound coin in the car because I need to do some shopping. But I got what I came for. So there's that. We're very quiet in CEX today, which arguably makes it harder to film. It's like I need it to be relatively busy, because then, yeah, I got my quid. Thank you. Need it to be relatively busy so that it's easy to film without feeling uncomfortable by the fact that like the staff might be watching. Or 2, not too busy that I can't move around. There's like middle ground. Anyway, see you in a minute when I get back to the car. Just got back. So you know how I had the quid to get the trolley? Well, the thought occurred when I got there. Don't actually have any bags. What do I actually have bags for though? Me, the walking cliche, apparently. Of course I got an infinite supply of CEX bags in the car. So I came back to the car, like halfway up, got those. Mental note, put shopping bags back in car before gym, because that would be an easy opportunity. But yeah, let's get home, get the chicken cooking. I'm eating lots of food. I'm sick of my weight not climbing, so I've boosted food. But that is genuinely meant I've had to wake up earlier. I'm at the point where I'm eating so much food that if I don't wake up earlier, it's not getting put in, which is absurd. But yeah, let's go home. Okay, home, chicken's cooking, dishwasher's loaded, everything in the fridge is where it needs to be. Got tonight's shakes ready and raring to go, tomorrow's shake also ready to go, pop drawer filled, still need to get the rest out of the car. Kind of just thinking out loud here. Actually, I don't know if I did this yesterday. I tried one of these, a My Protein BCAA energy drink. It was the most alcoholic a non-alcoholic drink has ever tasted. And I don't think that's a glowing review. I think if you like cherry flavoured stuff, you'll like it. But I didn't like it. So take that as you will. Yeah. What else? What else am I doing? Food's cooking. 3 minutes till I need to flip that around. Let's show you what we got from CEX today. Take my shoes off. Carpet's going to move it. I don't know why the gimbal's not... It's not being normal at the minute. I don't know what's going on. I said that earlier, didn't I? Right, so, flipping you around. Today, I bought Second Sight. You know when you buy a game because you like the front cover? Does anyone else ever do that? Has anyone else ever did that? I don't know. I like the look of it. I don't know if it is a horror game. It looks a little bit spooky. Based on what it says that you can do, it seems like it's got the same sort of thing that Siren Blood Curse and Siren had, where you can see through the eyes of someone else, perhaps. I don't know. It's telekinesis. I love telekinesis. I'd love a modern AAA game with like really extensive telekinesis. I don't mean in Control, like where you can just pick one thing up and move the thing around. I'd like over the course of the game for you to develop to be able to like pick people up, pick things up by individual points that you can like ragdoll and pull them apart. And I don't know. I feel like with modern technology you can do it. They just never do. You don't get many like superhero-esque games anymore, like Prototype and Infamous and that sort of thing. They're good games. Let me just flip my chicken, shall we? How's it looking? Also, here's a rogue one. Washed out the air fryer the other day, but I believe, right, the air fryers make food taste nicer when they're a bit dirty. Like when there's a bit of seasoning on them, you know? Speaking of seasoning, on the gram, on Instagram, follow me there. I'm 400 followers away from 100,000, so get that done. But something that people ask me often is, how do I season my chicken? So the people over there, it's really simple. I give it a couple of shots of fry light to moisten it up, and then use chicken seasoning from Aldi, which is like 60p. Or if I'm feeling a bit bougier, and they followed me the other day actually, so this is an interesting one, is I'll use these ones, the fancy Angus and Oink ones. This is technically a chip seasoning, but like, I feel like it goes well with chicken as well. Who knows? Just had a sale of the How to Grow Your TikTok account. 25 quid, lovely stuff. I'm going to be pimping that a lot more going forwards, those and the fitness stuff, now that the bills are up. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed today. Soon I think I'm going to plot a trip out to a different CEX. It's been a while and I kind of miss it. And just the crackheads in Stafford town centre are just multiplying and it's getting really annoying. I'd like to see, I don't know, if other towns are as bad. Subscribe and all that. See you in a bit.